Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you're not missing too much of the super sunny weather outside. Um, so today we are going to talk about how companies and engineers can increase social impact. And in order to do so, I'm going to tell you a story of a community and its people. But before I start, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Liliana, and I am from one of the most unequal countries in the world, Brazil. I was born in the state of São Paulo, which is it is actually the wealthiest region in the country, but this is still pervaded by social inequalities. And that's how this is a topic really close to my heart, and that's how I got so passionate about researching and working with social innovation. To give you an example of how social innovation can really enable transformational impact, I want to tell you a story, the story of Marina, who is not with us today, but she has kindly allowed me to share this story with you. So Marina was born and lived her whole life in the countryside of Brazil, in the state of Goiás. Marina and her husband both had low-paid jobs in their hometown, and Marina was working for a supermarket chain when she had her first child. Then she became a full-time stay-at-home mom, and they discussed it, and they realized they really wanted to leave Brazil to seek for better life and work conditions. So in 2015, they moved to the UK, and her husband got a low-paid job again. Marina had her second child, and she tried to apply for some jobs. She did a couple of courses, but in the end, she remained unemployed for 10 years in total. In 2022, Marina heard about a software development course taking place in London, and she decided to apply, to have it a go. She was becoming more and more interested in coding because of the flexibility of the tech industry and how that could possibly change her life. So she decided that was a good moment to learn how to code. She went through this training. It was a whole year of training, and towards the end, Marina was hired by JP Morgan in Scotland and became a full-time employee as a full-stack engineer. And this is how our stories, my story and Marina's story, connect to the story of this fantastic training community called Code Your Future. Code Your Future is a social impact organization from the UK. It was founded in 2016, inspired by the brilliant work of our friends from Hack Your Future, who are with us today. There are so many of them today. Hack Your Future's mission was to connect refugees to the tech industry. And they have been doing it brilliantly for 7 years. They are also in Denmark and in Belgium, apart from the Netherlands. And they've been expanding their reach to other groups such as women. Most recently, they are working more and more supporting women from Iran, for instance. But going back to the UK and Code Your Future, 7 years later, Code Your Future has expanded from London to the Northwest, to the West Midlands, to the south of Scotland, but also we are super proud to say that we have a community based in Cape Town, South Africa. And personally, for me, it's been really wonderful to see this community grow. I started myself at Cordio Future in 2019 as a volunteer. And I have seen so many people thrive, like Marina and many others. So this is really rewarding. But how did it started, actually? Cordio Future started as a small pilot in an office basement of a company in London. This pilot was led by Cordio Future's founder, Herman Benchi, who is an engineer from Venezuela who worked in tech for a long time. Herman, with a group of other tech professionals who were volunteering, he spent months and months every Sunday helping refugees to learn how to code, and then afterwards helping them to get a job in the industry. This is a photo of our London cohort number 1. So just to give you an idea, we are currently running our London cohort number 10. And throughout the years, Cordio Future has expanded its support to not only refugees and asylum seekers, but to other groups in society, such as more women participation, people coming from low-income backgrounds, also neurodiverse and also neurodiverse groups. Just to give you an idea of the impact of this community, I'm going to share some key figures with you. 80% of our trainees come below the poverty line, so they are really coming from low-income groups in society. Almost half of our trainees that are taking the training right now are women, and we are super happy to see that. 35 is the average age, and 20% of our trainees are over 40. 70% of our eligible grads start a career in tech. Almost 250 people have had their lives transformed. And for many of them, the lives of their families have been positively impacted as well. The increase on their annual income can be up to 1,400%. And this is because some of them, when they start our program, they are still part of the lowest income groups in society. For instance, in the UK, asylum seekers receive very little every week for a living. And so those numbers are testament of how the Cordio Future community truly enables social mobility. And this is only possible because of collective intelligence, which is one of our principles and the reason why this model works. The program is completely delivered by volunteers who are mostly, but not only, tech professionals. They are super open and willing to share their work experience, their life experience, and their skills with our trainees, who are open to share their life experience, their work experience with Cordio Future volunteers. Their interactions happen based on an active learning model, which means that the trainees, they own their learn journey, they are responsible for it, and the volunteers are there as the facilitators of that process. Something super cool is that our curriculum is open source, so other organizations can use it, anyone in the world can use it, and it has been created by volunteers who are super, super experienced professionals in tech. Something really important to mention is that we truly believe that if we want to really generate social impact through upskilling, through reskilling, we really need to create the support and lower the barriers to access to training and education. By offering laptops, by providing internet connection, by supporting and reimbursing childcare expenses, which we believe no other organizations and companies are doing at the moment. It's really important to give those groups in society access to training. Also, designing a part-time program where people can keep their life and their work commitments probably has been one of the main legacies of Cordio Future. I would like to give you an example of how this community is supporting people by telling you the story, Natalie's story, who is with us today. So if you have any questions and you'd like to know about more about her experience, you can talk directly to her afterwards. But just let me share with you quickly. Natalie was traveling in the UK with her husband in early 2022 when her home country was invaded by Russia. She had to stay in the UK and find a job. She realized at that moment that her skills and her experience from her home country probably would not be a match for UK standards and requirements. She started to apply for some jobs, and eventually she got a job at a charity startup, which ended up not going super successful. She was made redundant just afterwards, so she had to start that journey again. Natalie found a temporary job at a university and realized that she would have to look for other career options if she wanted to progress. That's when she, in one evening, she heard about Cordio Future. She applied to the program, she got into it, she did a whole year of training, and now Natalie is working at the university as a business analyst developer. So how companies and engineers can help new developers like Marina and Natalie? By funding initiatives, projects, organizations like Cordio Future, like Hacker Future, Migra Code, and many others that are out there. By hiring diverse talent, by creating a pipeline so that people coming from different groups in society have access to those jobs. And by offering corporate volunteering options to its employees, by encouraging its employees to volunteer for organizations like ours and spend their time experiencing different realities and different sharing experiences with people coming from other backgrounds. How does it translate into reality? Our software development program is a 12-month program split into 3 different phases. For all of those phases, we need funding and we need volunteers. Towards the end, the employment process starts. It's when the trainees, they become grads and they start applying for jobs. So heavy support is also needed. What we want our conversations with new volunteers and new partners is that they can be part of all of those stages. They can fund expenses. This is how we are able to afford internet connection, laptops, childcare. They can fund the program, and their engineers can be the ones facilitating this training. So the engineers can be the volunteers helping the trainees. And towards the end, companies and hiring managers can get more involved and help us with the recruitment. Career Future works as a recruitment agency for those companies who are willing to diversify their hires. We mainly train people in web development, but they learn how to become software engineers. In the past years, we have placed trainees into front-end and back-end jobs. We have placed people in product management and also in cloud and DevOps, which gets me to our other story of Ali, who went to the UK in 2019, was unemployed. He came across Career Future's course, applied to it, went through the course in the Northwest, and towards the end, he was hired as a DevOps engineer at Capgemini. And this is an example what happens in our Slack when someone gets a job. So you can see the volunteers getting super excited about it. Companies can create holistic partnerships with us. We create shared metrics that embed corporate volunteering and diverse hiring. With Capgemini, for instance, that's what we do. We co-create a model where we think together what are the volunteering and the hiring metrics. There is Career Future Plus. Companies can invest in high-impact projects like Career Future Plus, which is this project that we did in partnership, systems engineering project that we did in partnership with Slack. Margarita, who is also here with us today, is part of the Career Future Plus project. She went to the UK as a student. She had several freelance jobs. She ended up working in a warehouse of a plants company. When she progressed into a management role, when she started to work with software developers and basically fell in love with coding. She applied to Career Future, went through it, and in the end of her course, she did a work placement with Slack, and now she's a full-time, permanent role, full-stack engineer at Slack. Companies can hire. There are so many examples that this is possible, as the ones you can see. And engineers, you can be social changers by being ambassadors in your companies, by asking for more diverse hires, by asking for new colleagues coming from different backgrounds. And you can hire if you have the power to do so as well. You can volunteer, you can become a community facilitator, and you can do code review, you can become a tech mentor. There are so many opportunities. And also, you can make people do valuable things, usable things, things that they are going to use. Of course, there are many challenges along the way. Fundraising, the current tech job market, and making people believe in their potential is some of them. But we truly believe that if we do it together, this is possible. If we maximize each actor's, people and companies' strengths and skills, we can make that happen. It takes a whole village, community, to create social impact. Thank you so much for listening to our story. Between Career Future and Hack Your Future, there are more or less 60 people around today. We have stands over there, both organizations. So if you'd like to know more about how to partner or volunteer or learn more about our trainees' stories and experience, please come and visit our stands. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a lovely day.